Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. And I'm going to show you how I got my passport in Ghana. It's really now very easy. This is how it looks like. Okay, and then this is how the back also looks like. But I'm going to show you the process. It took me 4 days to actually get it. Okay, the entire process it just took me 4 days. And on top of that, you're also going to deliver it to your doorstep. I'm going to show you the entire process. I'm also going to share all the secrets with you as well. So guys, if you're watching this video, I want you to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Let's step into the video. Now guys, these are the items you're going to need to be able to start the process. First, you're going to need your Ghana card. You're also going to need your birth certificate. You're also going to need your Ghana post address as well, and then maybe your hometown details, your date of birth, all those kind of stuff. You know it already. Now I want you to be as truthful as possible with your documentations. I don't want you to lie on it because it's very, very serious if you do so. Make sure everything you put on there is nothing but the truth. Okay, now if your hometown is in Accra, put Accra there. If your hometown is in Northern Region, put it there, and make sure it is concise with all your documents, your documentations. If where you were born was in a different place and then you write a different place also in your birth certificate, different place on your Ghana card or something like that, or a different place on your passport filling, is going to go against you. Make sure everything is concise, everything is genuine, and everything is the same across board. Now I'm also going to break this video into stages. I'm going to show the entire stages, what I went through personally, and how you can also go through it successfully. So when you're done filling the form, what is going to happen is you're going to receive a text message and you're also going to receive an email. Now the email address they're going to send you, or the text message you're going to receive, would have your date and time of appointment. Okay, I will recommend you set the most nearest date as possible. If you feel like you can go today, put today there. If you feel like you can go tomorrow, put it there, but choose the nearest date as early as possible, guy. You want to go there and you want to go and fill the process. Okay, so once you are done with that, they send you the appointment date. Now you know the date, you know the time, you know the place as well. And with your printed document, you are done. Now me personally, I was supposed to go on Monday. Okay, so Monday of the particular week. That's what they gave me, and I was supposed to be there by 9 to 10 o'clock. And so I was there by 8 o'clock, and I chose Accra. Now Accra is closer to Tema Station, Accra. If you don't know Tema Station, Accra National Theatre, if you ask of the passport office, they're going to direct you to the places not really far from there. So I got there, and the first process you're going to go through, guys, pay attention to this. The first process you're going to go through is this. You're going to meet a security guard or perhaps a military man or an immigration man over there will be at the entrance, and what you're going to be doing is to make sure the documents that you carried are all consistent. So what you're going to do is they're going to ask you, did you bring your birth certificate? Did you bring your printed documents? Did you also bring your Ghana card? These three things, you have to send it along. So once they ask you and you say yes, you brought them, they will allow you to enter the premises. If you didn't bring it, they don't want you to waste your time. So they're going to tell you to go back and go and get it. Okay, so that's the first process. Make sure you go with your Ghana card, make sure you go with your birth certificate, and also make sure you go with your printed document. Now, once they allow you in, at the entrance, you're going to find somebody asking you whether you want somebody to help you with the process. If you want somebody to help you with the process, you have to pay an amount of money for them to do that for you. Okay, because you want to expedite the process. Don't do that. Don't do that unless you want to do it. If you want to do it, there's no problem with that. But don't do that. I recommend you don't do that yet. Okay, because the money you're going to take you is going to be exorbitant. You don't want to go through all that process. So what I want you to do is just go straight or ask of where the birth certificate office is, or their desk is. It's more like a pavilion. It should be on your right side. You're going to go there. Don't go and sit down. Once you go there, just walk straight to the table or the desk and tell them that you are here to do this and this and that. This is your documents. Okay, so you have people go there and they go and sit down there, and then they are just waiting because it's a whole queue. Don't think it's a queue, so you have to also go and wait. They're going to take your documents and they are going to review it or verify the entire document. Now, remember that desk alone is the birth certificate desk. So their entire role is to make sure your certificates are authentic, they are in order, they are not going to pose a threat to the ministry. So what happened to me personally was when I got there, I asked, and they took my document, then they looked at it and they said that somebody else was also sharing my birth certificate number. and they pointed it to the screen. There was one person called Vera something something was sharing the same number with me. So they told me they couldn't do I couldn't go through the process. I have to make sure I rectify it. How was I supposed to do that? I was supposed to go way back to birth certificate office, and that is around Shiashi. You understand Shiashi Akramo area, Shiashi. So I went there and then I told them the entire thing. It took them about 1 hour and then they fixed it for me. And then I went back to the passport office. Okay, so it happens from time to time. Once you go there and you realize that your birth certificate is not even reflecting the system, you have to go back to the birth certificate office for them to rectify it for you. Sometimes it's not that it's not reflecting. Sometimes another person shares your details. Sometimes even there are mistakes with your details, a difference in the names or something's wrong with it. So that's the first process or the second process, the birth certificate desk. Make sure you go through there. Once they pick your document, they are going to stamp it. They're going to give you one stamp. Once they stamp it, they are going to give it to the next desk. There are two desks over there. First desk is going to pick it up and verify it. The second desk is going to give hold onto it because he's going to wait to send a batch inside there. So you wait a little bit. Your name is going to be called. When your name is called, you go and pick your birth certificate and you go and pick your printed document. These two items. If your Ghana card was also taken, make sure you pick it up. All of them pick it up, and then you'll be directed to go inside the building. And that is where it gets tricky.
ọbẹ̀tìmí náà kò. ọ̀dìfà ìjọba ní ìjọba ẹ̀kọ́ ní àná àkọ́kọ́.
Once you get inside the building, that building, if I'm not mistaken, the building is the immigration office or the immigration desk. Okay, because that's where the immigrations also have their. So you're going to go there. The security man is going to direct you to sit down there, but I want you to also be very attentive because you might be seated and you might not know you might be seated there forever. So once you get in there, I want you to be smart about it. Find out what is happening around, where the queue is going. I mean, just look around how the queue is moving. You will realize that a security guard is calling or is moving people without names. It's not calling their names. You just come and say next person, next person, next person. Figure out how the queue is moving and sit there. Okay, else you'll be seated there and nobody's gonna mind you. So figure out how the queue is moving. Figure it out and then sit accordingly. Now somebody's also going to come round and then be calling out names.
Brand Yamite Pastors. Police Nana and Ketia. Vienna. Last.
Don't be bothered by that. That has nothing to do with you. Okay, those are the premium guys, and you don't want to go through that yet because you don't want to pay enough money to get it. So I'm showing you the process. The entire process of the entire reason for the immigration there is for verification. Remember, your birth certificate was verified, but now they need to make sure that you as a person you are also verified yourself. So they're going to ask you some few questions. They're going to interrogate you, and that's the whole essence of you going to the immigration office or that room there. You're going to be interrogated, and I don't want you to be panicking. I don't want you to be scared. It's just a basic question they're going to ask you. Of course, you are a Ghanaian. Of course, you've lived your life here, so they're going to ask you things that you already know.
Hello, it's afternoon. How are you?
Basically your name, your telephone number. You're going to ask of the place you stay, things on the documents. They're going to ask of the reference that you put there. Who are they? Who are they to you? Where do you know them from? If you say you are an account, they'll tell you to speak the language. But don't worry, if you don't speak the language, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, you can just say you are from there, don't speak the language. But whatever language you indicate or you say you can speak, remember they are going to tell you to speak it because they just need to find out whether you are who you are. So that is basically it. Now, once they are done, the first person is going to stamp it. And once the person is done, the person is going to send you to the desk behind them, another immigration desk, also is going to sign it or is going to stamp it as well. And then you are done with them. And then you are going to move to the next place. Now, this place I'm talking about, okay, the immigration room, is a crowded room, and I want you to be careful. Just be mindful of your items, be mindful of your phone. Also, look confident. Don't look shaky. If you look like somebody who is scared, they are going to suspect you. So you have to be who you are, and it's a very easy process. Okay. Now, once you are done, you'll be directed by a person to go upstairs. Okay. Remember, you have three stamps: one from the birth certificate, two from the immigration desk. You will need a fourth one, and the fourth one you'll be directed to another room. That room is upstairs. Okay, so you climb the stairs, you go there. That room is called the BNI office. Okay, now that room, you also don't want to joke with them. Once you get there, you realize it's a long queue. You'll be instructed to join the queue. Now you have two options at this point: to join the queue, or you have an option to expedite the process. Now I would recommend you expedite the process. But if you want to join the queue, there's nothing wrong with that. But just know that you're going to take a long time over there, because this place is actually the slowest queue you ever meet in the entire process. Okay, that particular place is going to take you the whole day. You might be even asked to come the following day. Your day is sport. Ask you to even come the following day again. Okay, so I will recommend you expedite the process if you want to. But if you don't, hey, just join the queue. But to expedite the process, I'm going to show you the entire process very soon. But what essentially you are going to do is you're going to be seated in a booth, and in this booth you will be asked to come for capturing, and so your document is going to be taken from you. The front page is going to be ripped off by the person in charge, because that part belongs to them, and then that's where all the stamps are, right? And so once it picks that form, you'll be asked to step into the booth, look into the screen, and then you also be asked to sign, because they need your signature on it. So you'll be asked to sign on the screen. You'll also be asked to verify all the information appearing on the screen. Make sure your names are spelled correct. Make sure your hometown is correct. Make sure everything is correct. Once you review it and you agree with the person will now ask you to look into a camera. That's where your passport picture is going to be taken. Okay, now with that done, you are done. You'll be asked to go, and then that is it. Then the last process will have to do with delivery, or have to do with you receiving the copy. Now, you between receiving the copy, you don't need to come all the way to the office to receive the copy. What's going to happen is they're going to deliver it to you, because you placed your home address, you also placed your Ghana Post address as well on it, so they know where you stay. They know they can come exactly to your place and deliver it to you. However, the rider would come to you and call you, and you make an arrangement whether you should meet you somewhere, you should come to the place. I mean, you just come to an arrangement with the person and then pick it up. Also, guys, remember, they are going to text you first on your phone before the rider comes around. So once you receive the text, you know that any moment from that day or the following day, you are getting your passport. So with that said, just be expectant of it. Meet the rider halfway, or even in your home or your house or the landmark, pick it up, and then that is it. Now, this is something also I also want to share with you. Okay, now guys, it is illegal to pay money to any person during the entire process. So you don't have to pay money to anybody during the entire process. However, if you feel like you want to be generous and you want to pay people, show appreciation to people, that is allowed. You can pay people from the birth certificate, pay people their office. You can, once you get to the immigration rooms, there are about three people who also, if you also want to be generous, you can give them something. And then also when you go to the immigration as well, sorry, the BNI room as well, there are people that if you also want to be generous, you can give them something. But however, if you want to expedite the process, once you are in the queue in the BNI office, I want you to be, guys, listen to me carefully. Once you are in the queue, you will realize that there are people who have paid for premium. Officers will come and be calling them their names because they pay for premium. So once you are in the, those people will be called out of the queue, and then they'll be sent back through a different door, handled differently. Their documents or their passport they'll receive it as fast as possible. You understand me? And so, as you are seated in the queue, I want you to look around and then take notice of the one who is calling people out of the queue, mentioning names and calling them out of the queue. That person is the one who is in charge of expediting the process, or who's in charge of the premium people, because the premium people definitely have to move faster. They are going to receive their document faster. They don't have to join the queue for a very long time because they are premium, right? So you find the person who is calling them. Once you see that person, tell them that you also want to expedite the process. They'll show you the process. Okay, now once you choose that process, there are two people you are going to maybe show appreciation to: the person who put you out of the queue, and then the person who is also doing the capturing. These people you have to at least appreciate their efforts, and show them some love, right? If you don't want to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. Just join the queue, and you're still going to receive your card as quick as possible. So that's how I got my passport. I keep saying card. That's how I got my passport. And also, a very important information I need to pass on to you: the passport now has a chip in it. Okay, this is a new type of passport. It has chip in it, and then not only is the process now faster, now the chip itself is also very delicate. So you don't want to put it in your back pocket, because you don't have to bend the chip. Okay, you have to store it well. You also don't want it to be in a place where there is liquid, where there's too much heat, because the chip is going to be destroyed. And then lastly, any card that has a chip in it, you don't want to put it in your passport, because that's just going to interfere with it. You don't need to put your SIM card in there. You don't need to put your hotel door card in there. You don't need to put any card that has a chip in it. Even your ATM cards, all those kind of things, your Visa cards, don't put it in there. It's going to interfere with your passport. So guys, if you love this video, just subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. There are more videos I'm going to pass on to you. I love you all guys. See you in the next video. Peace out.